I'm not sure we understand that we're stressed, why we're angry about life. It's just the way we've become. It's normality to us. We don't understand that past traumas in our lives are affecting us now, affecting us in situations like we're in now, where we are fearful and we can't see other people's point of view. We can't think properly. I've said many times, our brain coherence is non-existent when we're so highly stressed. We're likely not looking after ourselves. We're not eating properly, good nutritional foods. We are concentrating on taking in all the information, the only information that we want to see. We aren't interested in looking at the other side of the story. We can't see another side of the story. We're not prepared to see it. And again, this is detrimental to us. When somebody else puts another argument to us, we dismiss it, or we laugh it off and make it a joke, which isn't an adult way of maybe learning about what else could be happening. I say there's a bigger picture. What's happening in the world? I know that in my own experience, I was believing what I was being told in the office, and I couldn't see through it at the time. It just made me more angry and more stressed. And I would just try and get away from it as soon as possible and laugh it off with my friends in the pub, which didn't get me anywhere. When we act like children in a playground and we don't have a constructive conversation about what might be happening in the world, it's no good for us ongoing. It doesn't move us forward. And life is all about us moving forward. By dismissing people and laughing at their comments and not having this sensible conversation about what is happening, we are reinforcing our own beliefs. And we're happy doing that. We are blindsided by our own beliefs and our inability to take on board these people's points of view. Our inability to even go out and search for other knowledge that might give us some indication of what is happening in our lives and the world around us. Blissfully unaware, I've said before, of what's going on in our little world. We're pointing fingers. I now see that we're gearing up for the next stage of coming out of lockdown, where we are prepared to watch other people, make sure other people aren't doing what we believe they should be doing, where we aren't concentrating on ourselves and our loved ones. We can hide behind vulnerability of other people. I speak to my parents. They're in that age bracket of vulnerability, and they're quite content looking after themselves. If they feel vulnerable, they won't do something. They won't go out. They won't go to the shop. So we can self-justify and we can hide behind all these things because it makes us feel better. In the bigger scheme of things, it isn't going to help. We will remain living in fear and stress and anger forever in our lives. When I, at 40, which is ridiculous to begin to rebuild your life, and I don't believe this is true for everybody, this shouldn't have to happen. One of the biggest lessons I learned was there is always another side to the story, which we do not have to agree with or disagree with, but we must accept that it exists and we must look at it. If we are not prepared to do this in our lives, then we remain stuck and nothing in our lives will ever change. things will change in the background and we will graciously accept them under the guise of it protecting us when we aren't consciously thinking about what realistically is going on.